Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me for your 30-day reading. This reading will be for Sagittarius Sun and Rising signs for the next 30 days. Sun and Rising Saggies for the next 30 days. What important messages do we have here? Saggies, next 30 days. Sagittarius, hopeless, sinking, despair, falling apart. This is a matter of perspective. On the surface, it may seem like things are not working out, but you're gripping onto something too tightly that you have to let go of. So whatever it is that you feel hopeless about, you have to let it go. Once you let it go, you won't feel hopeless about it anymore. It's like you're sinking with whatever this is. So your emotions are tied to a situation that you're holding on to tightly, and it's done. Something is over. Or it may not be over. It's like the reason why you're feeling this way is because you're trying to control the outcome. You're trying to control the outcome of what the situation is, and because it's not playing out the way you expect, you feel hopeless about it. But this may not manifest the way you expect, and you have to let go of control to see it play out the way that you want it to. You're too invested in the outcome of this. You're too controlling. You're being too controlling. It's like things aren't playing out the way you expect, so it's hopeless. No, there could be a curveball or something unexpected that happens. This is not going to go the way you expect it to go. But just because it's not going the way you expect it to go doesn't mean that it's not going to work out at all. That's not the issue. The issue is that there's a plan at play here, a divine plan that's at play, and you're not going to control when this plays out, how it plays out, who it plays out with. No, you're going to have to release control of this. If you want this to play out the way you expect, you're going to be disappointed. But it doesn't mean you won't get what you want. It just means that it won't happen the way you expect it to, on your timing, or it's not going to look the way you expect it to look. It's like a relationship. You're dating a guy for a while, and he's not doing what you think he's supposed to do to prove that he wants to be with you, or the timeline is off, or whatever. And so because it's not happening in that particular way, you're it's not going to work out. We're not going to be together. He doesn't like me. It's not that. You have to go with the flow here. You got to go with the flow. You can't be too controlling. If you are, then you're going to sabotage the situation by expecting this to play out the way you want it to, and then rejecting other possibilities, or not exploring other possibilities and enjoying the process. Uranus in the 6th house. You do have Taurus in the 6th house, so you can be controlling when it comes to your lifestyle, when it comes to your daily habits and routines. You're very organized, but for this situation to work out, you have to let go of control. Lusting, forbidden, non-committal sexual energy. Yes. So maybe you want a one-night stand situation, or a situation step to turn out to be something else. On your timeline. This is not going to go the way you expect it to, or when, or how. It looks different. So, suppose in your mind, you can only be happy if you're in a monogamous relationship, right? But somebody comes along and they offer you something different that's not traditional. It's unconventional. And you're assuming that because it's not traditional that you won't be happy in that situation. I'm not saying be a side piece. I'm not advocating for or against it. I mean, I think you should do what's best for you. But some of you guys are in a situation that is not exactly the way you hope it would be. So you're losing hope in it. Like, you can't really enjoy the experience because it's not playing out the way you want it to. I can't get anything out of this because I can't control how this is playing out. That's not going to work here. You're going to have to be more flexible and open-minded and not be so invested in this, the outcome of this, that you lose sight of the experience itself. As long as you're being safe and you're not making permanent decisions based on temporary feelings or temporary situation, then you should be fine. But I think the objective here is to enjoy the experience. Don't try to control it or try to possess it and predict the outcome. If you do that, then you're going to be disappointed because it's not going to play out the way you expect. Uranus is entering Gemini, which is your opposite sign. So Uranus in your opposite sign is like relationships that are unorthodox, not traditional, open relationships, polygamy, long distance, right? Age differences, racial differences, living in different parts of the country. It's not going to turn out the way you expect, but it doesn't mean that it'll be miserable, right? Doesn't mean you can't have fun and learn from the experience, okay? That's the issue. Let's continue, spirit guides. Let us continue. Forbidden, non-committal sexual energy. Forbidden. Why is it forbidden? Is it forbidden because it's non-committal? Is this person married? If they're married, then I understand. If they're not married and they're dating multiple people or they don't want to commit, then there's something here about you enjoying the experience regardless of how it currently looks. I'm not advocating for you being a side piece, male or female, but if this person is not married and you're not married, what's stopping you from enjoying their company, even if it's not going to be a guaranteed marriage or commitment? Something like that. As long as you're safe. Like I said, don't be reckless, but still have fun. Hold on, where's my stuff at? You can still have fun. You can still have fun and enjoy yourself in this situation. It doesn't have to be textbook. This is not textbook. Your life will not be textbook over the next 7-8 years. Just so you know, okay? What's going on for Sagittarius for the next 30 days? Next 30 days, Sagittarius, we have patience. Yes, temperance. This is your card. Right. Let it play out the way it's supposed to, not the way you want it to. Go with the flow. So you guys are older. Go with the flow. You have been in relationships before where you rushed things or you try to control things and it didn't work out. This situation requires you to be open-minded and secure enough within yourself that you're not crestfallen or devastated if this doesn't work out the way you expect. So some people need to control their relationships because they're heavily invested in the outcome, and the outcome is what is validating them, right? Getting married, having a committed partner, having a kid, whatever. So that's not the goal. The goal is for you to enjoy the experience of being with this person, letting your hair down, being safe, learning from them, traveling, exploring, growing. It's not going to work in the traditional sense. It's not Saturn. This is Uranus, okay? Chariot, moving forward, advancement, going towards your goals, dreams, wishes, major arcana. 14 and 7 is 21. That's number 3. Number 3 is the Empress. Yes, coming into your own personal power. So I don't need to control. I attract. I'm embodying the qualities of the person that I want to be with, right? I'm the source of my own value to the point where whether he's with me or not, or whether she's with me or not, I'm still okay. I don't need to control this because getting married is so important to me. Being chosen is so important to me. Being somebody's wife or girlfriend is no. You're okay whether this works out or not. That's the attitude you need to adopt for this to work out. So patience and Chariot, that's not hopeless, right? If you want this to work, you're going to have to be flexible. The Chariot is not necessarily patient energy. Horses aren't patient. So you guys may be trying to rush this, but this situation is your destiny in a sense. You're destined to go through this experience. Just take your time. Don't rush the process, okay? Especially not now, because with Uranus in your 7th house, you could make mistakes by assuming that, okay, King of Pentacles, the World is here. I want to get this card too. The World and the King of Pentacles, which is an earth sign. A male. King of Pentacles is very patient, older, mature magician. Yes. 5 of Pentacles, right. So yeah, right, exactly. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles is somebody who's insecure, poverty mindset. King of Pentacles is somebody who's self-sufficient, has resources. You're going to have to... Okay, I'm going to say this. Perhaps the reason why you're so invested in this situation is because your finances aren't the way you expect it to be or the way you want it to be. So you want stability, you want security, right? If you have this man or this woman, then you can control the relationship and you'll feel more secure. I think you're going through this because your finances may not be the way where you want them to be. So you're projecting these desires onto a King of Pentacles person or a secure male so that you can feel secure within yourself. So if I have a secure relationship, I won't feel so bad about my finances, right? That's what's kind of happening here. With the World card, an ending of a cycle. Uranus is now going to your 7th house from your 6th. Jupiter is in your 8th house from your 7th house. And the King of Pentacles is here. Someone is here. And this person is going to force you to love yourself or learn to love yourself in some way. We have 21, 22. This is the Emperor. 4 and 3. Emperor, Empress. They're here. It's just that you got to be patient. So you have to know that you're an Empress before you can get with your Emperor. You have to become an Empress before you can be with your Emperor. And I think this process of you waiting, being patient, right, and going after your goals, 6th house energy, 8th house energy, getting your finances in order, working on your personal power. I think you doing that is a part of like this development process where you're becoming the Empress. This person is teaching you how to do that by way of not giving into your demands or expectations of a traditional partnership. They're forcing you to wait. They may have other options. You're not a priority right now. They're doing other things. It's not that serious for them. So because it's not that serious for them, you don't have any control of how this is going to play out. And you'll be forced to chill out, fall back, find peace within yourself and work on your own stability, your own security, and your own finances so that you're not depending on them to give you security and value. If they claim you now, you're worth something, you're a good woman, you're a catch, or vice versa, you're a guy, right? So just be careful with that. This person's teaching you that this is both Taurus energy. So you have all the resources you need to manifest your own security. But you have to put the effort into whatever it is you're working on. Be patient with yourself, right? Don't judge yourself based on other people's expectations of you. 7th house energy is here too. Jupiter in the 7th was in the 7th house. Now it's in the 8th. Hopeless and lusting. All these major arcana. This is fate and destiny at play. You don't have control over this. You want to, but you don't. And while you're trying to gain your footing, gain your composure, gain stability, you're developing qualities and characteristics that will make you a good match for this person. Right now, you're not ready. Not yet. So it'll take some time for this to play out with the 5 of Pentacles and the World card. and the Magician, but you have everything you need. You just have to be aware of that, and you have to apply your energy in productive, constructive ways, not focusing on what this person is doing, trying to control them, but managing your own affairs so that you don't feel the need to control this person and feel valued or safe or loved. Okay? Something else is coming out here. What else do we need to know for Saggies the next 30 days? I think you're becoming aware of this over the next 30 days, that you can't control the situation. You may like somebody a lot, or you have a goal, a dream, a desire, and you want this to pop off quickly. It won't, because you have to learn some things before you get to that point. And the reason why you want things to pop off quickly is because you're feeling insecure about your value. Like you're trying to overcompensate for something. What's going on for Sagittarius, please, next 30 days? Passion, yes. Passion. This is the sacral chakra, which is about creativity, confidence. One more. Then we have joy, yes. So you got hopeless and joy. This is the solar plexus chakra, which is the 5th house. You have Neptune and Saturn in the 5th house. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the experience. That's when the abundance will come in. Right now, you're 5 Pentacles and you're hopeless and you're like, the lust is also passion. It may not be for a person. It could just be for a goal. Like, I want this now. I need this today. It has to work the way I want it to, when I expect it to, for me to feel confident in myself. That's not going to happen. You got to be patient here and just enjoy the experience. That's it. This doesn't say success. It doesn't say marriage. It doesn't say finality. This is not a terminal outcome, right? This is just the experience. You're enjoying the experience of getting to that point where you'll be married or you'll have this amazing career. So enjoy the process. Enjoy the steps and the stages. Don't try to control everything, because it's going to be miserable. You're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm wasting my time. You know, I'm a loser, whatever you're thinking, which is not true. And because you think that way, if you think it's hopeless, you're going to push away abundance. The King of Pentacles and the 5 is here. So don't overcompensate. Don't try to do too much or try to control the situation because you're afraid of not having stability. You're afraid of the transitional period of conceptual, of conceiving something and then executing it. There's a space in between that where you're developing, you're planning, you're flowing, you're creating, you're designing, you're experimenting. So just chill out. Enjoy this middle process, right? You have an idea or you have something that you want. Now there's a process that has to take place before you can actually get it. Be patient and stop trying to control the process. Go with the flow. This is not Saturn energy. This is not controlling energy. It's just full of joy, all fire. You can't control fire unless you use earth. And earth is about practical matters, right? Money, schedules, constraints, restrictions, goals. And it's good to have a goal. The goal should be there, but the goal should not be the objective. The objective should be the experience that you are going to endure while you're pursuing that goal, right? The experience of dating the person, getting to know them, getting to know yourself through them, learning about your flaws, right? Having good times with them. If you get married, that's cool. If you don't, then that's okay as well. You have to be okay with that. We got the 1, 22 plus 14 is 36, plus 7 is 43. That's number 7, the Chariot card, your 8th house. That's the house of personal power. Okay? Just because your need to control people or to have so much control over your situation is because you feel like you lack personal power. For you, control is power. If I can control this person's actions, if I can control the outcome, then I have power. That is not correct. Your empowerment comes from the fact that you'll be okay whether this works out or not. That's where your power comes from. I'm good whether I have this job or not. I'm good whether we get married or not. I'm the empress regardless of the outcome of this because I'm still me. That's where the empowerment comes from. It doesn't come from control. It comes from self-actualization. It comes from your evolution. It comes from your detachment. That's where your control comes from. Being able to detach from this and not be devastated and destroyed because this fell apart. It might not. It might. You got to be good. Okay. You got to be good regardless, right? You have to be good regardless of what the outcome is. So just enjoy the trips, enjoy the sex, enjoy the, conversations, enjoy the process of building whatever this is. If it falls apart, it's okay. You would have learned certain skills that you can use in other areas of your life. You can move forward, start over. So Uranus in the 7th house for you is going to bring about a lot of changes in your life. Some unexpected, some welcome, some not welcome. It doesn't matter. You're going to bounce back, get back on your feet, and continue to do what you do as a Sagittarius, right? The universe wants you to win regardless. If you give up and try to control the outcome and say, well, I'm not really winning because this doesn't look exactly the way I want it to look, right? He's not doing what I want him to do. I lost my job. I'm not winning. That's not true. Okay? As long as you keep going, you will continue to win. There may be detours. There may be, side quests. There may be off ramps or whatever, but the goal is still the goal. But enjoy the journey. That's it. Enjoy the process of becoming the empress. Because once you become the empress, it's kind of boring. Like once you become Oprah, it's kind of boring. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Oprah looks back on her earlier days, back in the 80s when she was doing her show. And she was in the process of becoming Oprah, becoming that icon, right? Versus now, she's been chilling for the past 20, 30 years. There's no need to grow, no need to do anything new. It's just whatever. And I'm sure she enjoys it, but as a fire sign, you guys get excited, or you guys derive excitement from the experience, learning new things, traveling, growing, advancing. So if you feel like you got to hold things tightly, you're not going to let it grow. But you can't grow either. So things have to let things play out organically. Don't try to control everything, okay? Then you'll be happier. Much happier. Do I need another card? One more card and then I'm out for you guys. Thank you very much. No, I'll do 2 more. I will do 2 more. See, going with the flow. If it works, it works. What's going on for Sagittarius? Next 30 days, please. I need some keywords. Keywords to help elaborate on some of these points. Give some insight, advice. Okay, we have trash. The relationship is done. Time to move on. Chuck it in the effort bucket. Trashy behaviors or thinking it's not of further use. Hopeless and lusting. Is there something you're holding on to that needs to be released? Because you want to control the outcome of this. 5 of Pentacles. Are you holding on to a bad relationship because you're afraid of losing control? This is a source of stability for you. It's predictable. One more. The world is here. One more, please. Sagittarius. Ball. Game player. Let's play. Dropping the ball. colorful, making the most of a situation by inflating it. Bounce back. The ball's in your court. I think you trashed something that had potential because it wasn't playing out the way you expected. Again, I'm not saying get with an abusive, toothless drug addict. I didn't say that. But there's something here that has some potential. Someone may have had potential, but perhaps they were taking too long to commit, or perhaps they were still involved in disentangling from another relationship. They were still transitioning. They weren't ready yet. Perhaps this wasn't going to play out the way you expected. They lived long distance. I don't know. This person may have had potential. You trashed them. Trashy behaviors or thinking it is not of further use. But then it just bounced back. Making the most of a situation by inflating it. The ball's in your court. I think something was trashed. Now, we do have Mercury go retrograde in your 9th house, opposing the 3rd. Flowers, love, springtime, romance, couples, happy, vibrant, growth, union, watching things bloom and grow, having fun. Yes, something that you walked away from could be back on the table. You said deuces and you meant it. I'm out. I don't want to be with you anymore, whatever. But this thing had potential back in the day, perhaps. And then you prematurely left it in the dust, or they did it to you. It may be coming back for renewal. Coat, covering, cloaked, save for a rainy day, hidden or invisible, use caution, element, self-protection, curiosity, colder weather. See the contradiction here? This is summer, this is winter, or spring and winter. Right. So because you can't control it, you're afraid of enjoying it. Again, I'll be safe. Be safe. If the person has no teeth and they haven't had a checkup for a while, I would suggest you walk away from this, right? But if they have a lot of potential, it's just that the timing is off, or there's some, I don't know, they just got out of a marriage, they're divorced, there's children involved. Like, if that's the case, then you have to be a little more patient with this person and not throw them away if they have potential. Okay, so you may have tried something prematurely because, it wasn't playing out the way you expected it to. There is potential here to be happy if you broaden your horizons. Let's continue, please, for the collective. Let's continue for Sagittarius collective. Sun and rising signs, next 30 days, we have settling. Don't stay with someone who isn't right for you because it's safe. Hopeless and lusting, holding on to something too tightly because it doesn't play out the way you expect it to. Okay, this is two things happening here. A situation is not playing out the way you expect, right? You could be with this person already, but you're holding on tightly to them, expecting this to play out differently than what's happening. Are you settling because you're afraid of losing this person, or do you think you're settling? This is a general reading, so it's not too specific. This can be both ways. You could be with someone and you're settling for them, and they've proven to you that they're trash. Or you could have met someone new who has potential, but you think you're settling because this isn't the way you expect it to look. Hold on. More context, please, spirit guides. What's the settling mean? Everyone leaves. Choose a partner who can commit to you and let yourself commit to them. Too passive. Take initiative to meet someone and to keep the passion ignited. Settling, everyone leaves. Too passive. Passion, joy. Choose a partner who can commit to you and okay, so that's what it is. So listen, it sounds inverted. Here's the deal. Okay? You think that you're settling because this person may not be available to commit at this time. Not because they're married. I would avoid that. No. But because they're busy rebuilding their life. They live in a different city. They don't have the time. They have other priorities, right? You think you're settling because of that. I'm going to say that in this situation, that's not necessarily the case. You may have to be patient and wait for this person to work through whatever it is they're working through and not assume you're settling because they're not 100% ready-made. They're not fully cooked by the time you meet them, especially if you're older. Too passive. Everyone leaves and settling. If you're with someone already and they've proven to you that they're trash, then yes, walk away. But this could be for somebody who's not dating or not in a committed relationship, right? They may have met somebody new and they're ready to throw them in the trash because they still got stuff going on. With Uranus in the 7th house, even if the person says they want to settle today, doesn't mean they will tomorrow. So you have to be open to new experiences. You have to be open to the possibility that somebody will leave. It doesn't mean that they're trash, though. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy the experience as long as you're safe and mature. Okay? Again, for the last time, don't get with somebody with no teeth, with bad health, as an alcoholic. Those are obvious red flags. But if someone has everything else together, right, and they're good company, and you're not seeking validation from them, and also this may not stop you from, seeing other people. Who's stopping you from seeing other men or women, right? Just because you're dating them doesn't mean you have to cut off other options. If they haven't committed to you, then I don't think you should, right? So you have to be a little more flexible about how you're pursuing this. Again, be safe. Always be safe. Don't get with crazy men who are possessive and abusive, who have addiction issues. Don't do all of that. But if somebody has potential, but they're going through a rough patch, I didn't say build a bear. Don't do that either. But they're working themselves back up. And because they're working their way back up, they don't have time to see you every day. They, they're not with other people. They're just doing other stuff. And it's not looking the way you want it to look. Don't throw them away. Give them a chance. Versus, you've been with somebody for 15, 20 years. They're still trash. Yeah, they need to go. Stop holding on to them and expecting that, well, he's going to change because I'm putting in the work. No. You're holding on to this person because you're afraid of losing control and you're afraid of losing your stability and not having any more validation. You're afraid of losing your status as a wife or a girlfriend or whatever. So this is a general reading. It can go both ways. Okay? Either you're with someone who's trash for years and you're afraid to let them go because you need them for security, or you've been single for a while and you meet someone who's not perfect and you're afraid of entertaining the relationship because it's not the way you expect it to look. He's not ready-made. He's not perfect. It can go both ways. These are general readings, okay? I'm trying to cover all the bases, but I hope I was clear. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. I look forward to your feedback. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.